The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Reunion Part 3. This won't be a long recap. Come on back. Let's have this heavy conversation. Welcome back, people, to Heavy Hitter Media, where we do rants, hot topics, fashion, and reality TV reviews, and a little bit of more. Child, whatever comes to my mind. Again, this is a recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 14 Reunion Part 3. Oh, God, they could have totally kept this episode. Like, for real. This could have been a 15-minute Zoom call. One where we didn't have to turn on our cameras. So we go back into the episode with lying Anthony. You know, they have really given Anthony his 15 minutes of fame, and I hope he really enjoys it, because I'm sure after this, no one will want to work with him. Like, why would you want to be part of this man's foolishness? We also then go directly into Sheree owing money, which has been the common thing for seasons 1 through 4. Then she came back, 9 and 10, and then now 14. Like, this has been a running joke for her. It's a joke to us, but it's her real life because Sheree just is a mess. Then we get to Fatum. One of the viewers have written a question about why didn't the ladies talk about it. It was much more serious. And now all of them, it was too serious. That was too far, whatever. And why didn't Sheree try to verbally tell her that it was too much? Girl, it was good. It was funny, child. It was funny because it got up under your skin, Drew, child. It was whatever. And then we talk about Drew and her aliases. And Drew does more lying. Drews us. Oh, Ralph's dad is a senior. He's a junior. And, one of the aliases was Darlene, his godmama or his mama. We thought it was Danielle. So everybody's looking around like, girl, Miss Thing. Miss Thing, here she go lying again. They then move on to the fact of how odd it was for Sheree and saying to visit Drew when she hurt herself in Jamaica, because they were both at odds with her. And she said, like, I was out of it. I was like, am I in the twilight zone? Because the two people that came to visit me are the two I don't necessarily care for. Andy then asks them, well, where do you stand now? And then it turns into a battle of who's going to get the last word. We're nowhere. I'm fine. She's fine. We're all fine. I'm not losing any sleep. I sleep on a pillow top. I have a number bed. My feet elevate. I'm exaggerating. Just a battle of the words about who's going to say what last. Just a bunch of people being introduced. Baby, and Todd is on the couch laid out. Because apparently they went out late and then was drinking still in the morning. Todd is like, yo, y'all ready for this? Mr. Gaslighter, why you gaslight your wife, man? Why you pouring gas on your wife? And Ralph is like, you gonna get that smoke 2 times? He's like, yeah, I'm broke. Gonna be broke. Ain't never had nothing. Even though I've been married to my wife for 10 years. They laugh it off, and then the gentlemen make their way onto the stage. The husbands join the wives on the stage. 2 have on white, and Todd has on black and gold. He said, these are my backup singers. I've been here the longest. I'm with the OG, the one who's been here the longest out of any of the franchises. So I had to, set it apart. He didn't say that, but that's what he was given. And he makes some stupid idle chatter. Well, Todd, what's the end game on the beard? Your beard is bearding. It's so stupid. Oh, and he says, Ralph, any type of connections or referrals for a massage? He's like, I got a couple people. Drew says, oh, but of course, Drew, yeah, Drew, he's still on that fuck shit. He's still on it, girl. So she turns around, that's better. Andy asks, how cool are the men? Because apparently they seem to have this camaraderie and this bond that is just really, really present between the 3 of them. Well, they begin talking about drinking because, again, like I mentioned earlier, Todd is laid out. So they show a clip of them coming in, and Candy's like, bruh, he's like, babe, I'm sorry. He's so low-key. He's already low-key, but when he full, he's low-key-er. If that's even possible. They talk about it. Candy's like, yo, this is a reunion. I need you to be on point because we got to get her because she nah, she didn't do all that, bitch. Basically, I need you to be on point. We get to the conversation, and Andy asks Ross what's different about the parenting. And he's like, yo, I had a conversation with my mom. She kind of gave me a different perspective on what Sonya's really needing from me. So we're now on the same page. So it was good. He's so laid back. He's like, yo, yeah, I talked to my mom, and she just told me, you got to get it together, son. She didn't say all that. I like to put the words into what I thought the mama or the parents or these conversations that they have. I'm going to put the wording into what it should have been. If you don't like it, watch the actual show. But come back now. Y'all come back. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and understand I'm giving my perspective, and we can chat about it in the chat. They ask about how he felt with Kenya calling him aggressive, and he's like, I could get it, I understand what she's saying. I don't think the wording was correct, but So they then ask Kenya, Andy. She explains, well, we talked on the plane the next day. We're cool, but I do want you to know I don't think you ever were trying to do anything to us or to hurt us. So I just want you to know I think that's fine. Well, Todd cracks a joke. Well, I was nervous. Todd is on. Todd still got that. Well, we move forward and we go directly into candy now. So we see a clip of candy things, candyisms, and candy goods. We talk about the EGOT, we talk about the panties, we talk about the play shutdown, we talk about the condo, we talk about the trust with Mama Joyce. All these things go through what has happened with her throughout the season. And then Andy tells Candy, yeah, I wore a pair of your vibrating panties on my show. She's like, what? I didn't see that. So he's like, yeah, I'll send you the clip. I'm sure it'll be in one of her future videos, which she should definitely use that to promote because she'd be crazy now too. We circle back around to Marlo, and a question for the viewers asking about the double standard of lying about Todd and having things to say. And she's like, well, it wasn't my place to say. First of all, that is something, that's a buzzword indicative that there's potentially truth to it. She was like, it wasn't my place. I was wrong for saying that. No, Candy, you let them slide. Like that mean, Candy, you let them slide too much. It was a lot of stuff you should have held their foot to the fire. What you mean it wasn't your place? So what you trying to say? You shouldn't have said, no, stand on everything you said. And what do you mean? Candy, you should have kept your foot on their neck. Why you let them make it like that, girl? No, ma'am, don't do that. Candy, you let them make it. You should have kept your foot on their neck. We then come over to Sheree, and there's like, well, Sheree, yeah, you had a lot to say too. What do you mean the streets are talking? She's like, oh, I just piggybacked off of Marlo. I just be saying anything. Yet again, another example, Candy, of how these people you work with feel too free to spread lies about you in your marriage. Girl, at that moment, you should have been checking Sheree. I would have had to remind Sheree how bad of a bitch I am. Oh, so you were lying? Sheree, don't you know what happens when people lie on me? Hit her with that one. We'll keep this part kind of quick. We're still on Candy. We talk about, now that Todd is there, why does Kayla struggle and Riley doesn't have to? Todd's like, yo, look, I'm from New York. It's part of what we do. It's part of the struggle. It's making her a better person, and she's really benefiting from those things. Andy then asks, how's the condo? Candy's like, yo, it's good. They show some clips of the condo, and Candy's like, we'll be here in October for the red carpet for the play on Broadway, as well as for BravoCon, so they'll be staying at the condo. We get to the point of Candy mentioning that she doesn't want Todd to remarry. She's like, well, I've been through it before with family where someone passed and the new spouse pretty much gets everything. I don't really want that to happen. Now, with my damn money, she didn't say that, but pretty much that's what she's insinuating. We then have a Drew piece. We show clips of Drew, Drop It with Drew. We talk about her issues with Marlo going to the website and couldn't get on. We talk about the counseling session with Ralph. We talk about him being rude and dismissive. We talk about the massage. We talk about the book. So they show all these things, Marlo, for what happened with her with the season. And then we get to the idea of the busted can of biscuits. And then she stands up and shows us how well she is looking in the work that she has done. And then she says, I'm not going to say how much I lost. It's been anywhere between 15 and 20. However, Drew does not articulate. Sometimes I don't enunciate nor articulate well. But she says 15 to 20, but it sounded like 50. So everybody's like, what did you say? So she's like, no, 15. So for some odd reason, Ralph is mad at Sheree about what Anthony said, and he blames her for carrying the bone, which she is a bone collector. Let's not forget it is Sheree. However, Sheree never said it. Fatum said it naturally. She got it from Sheree. And perhaps Sheree put her up to it. But the idea is he's going ham on her. Instead of saying, well, you told Fatum, or you told that woman, and she said, he's like, well, no, you, and you. It was very how he talks to Drew. Sheree better than me, because I would have been like, wait a minute. I'm not your wife. You're not going to gaslight me. You're not going to talk crazy to me because you need to do that with her. She's the gullible, foolish one. No. You're mad at someone that you heard said something about you, but you kept them. Now, if she didn't tell him, y'all need to work that out. But that has nothing to do with me. Don't talk to me like I'm Drew. You kept him around. He said it. You paid to get his car to impound, or it was getting ready to get towed. You did it. These are all things your wife is saying that y'all did after she knew what he said about you. You need to fix that. So anyway, he's like, well, you said other things. She's like, well, what did I say? See, this is a problem too about you housewives, Marlo and Sheree. What did I say? Y'all, quit. If you were, this is reality TV. If you were really doing things that were reality and stopped trying to produce the show, you would be able to hopefully remember some of the things that you said because they would have been genuinely real. But y'all just saying anything to make good TV. So you're like, well, what did I say? And he's like, the doggy bone. She's like, oh yeah. And he has every right to be, well, no, you don't. Because if it ain't true, just like, be you know what, be very Todd about it. Like, it is what I don't. These ladies, Todd know what's up. Because Todd being with production, like, child, this ain't nothing but some bullshit for the show. Ralph, you so offended. Makes one wonder. You're like, well, why are you using it as a slur? I agree, but I'm gay. I'm in the community. I think I can fight that battle. I know you don't give a good goddamn will about someone using the word gay as a weapon or being weaponized. You don't care. You just don't like the fact that it's being used against you. He is fine though. Drew and Ralph make a beautiful couple, and I still don't like Drew. I am accepting of their role on the show, but please don't come back in season 3 with I'm having problems with my husband. Let's not start that I'm having problems with my husband in the beginning, and towards the end, we sitting there, everything's hunky dory. Like, don't do that. Don't give us that. Better yet, just get rid of Drew. Get rid of Drew. Just give Ralph the peach. Sheree apologizes for the dildo doggy bone. First of all, Drew, if you would have brought that stupid ass prop, she wouldn't have had that to use against you. Anyway, she says, you're weird. They said they're weird. You know, a bunch of... The reunion was awful. Revelation, ding! The reunion was awful. So they do some bickering. She by who? She by who? She by who? Sheree, that's the best you got. Get you some ghostwriters that's going to help you read, girlfriend. And then, you know, Drew is like, you know, you need to focus on Sheba. She's not done yet. Now, unfortunately, that was true at the time, and still was true after the finale. When I tell you, it seems like Ralph, Drew, Marlo, and a PR coach sat together and worked on what they were going to say with one another. It does. They're like, okay, I already worked with Marlo, so y'all next. Y'all look like a fool this season. The plots didn't work for seasons 1 and 2. This is what you say. Ralph's answers are so rehearsed. They're just like, yeah, I just saw how I was treating my wife, and, you know, I have to make sure, and Dr. Ken says, and says, man, whatever. This is some complete BS. Whatever, bro. As we continue, we're still talking to Ralph and Drew. It's their section. We start the conversation with Ralph treating Josiah differently. She gives some brief description. There were so many great things within Drew and Ralph's piece this season that should have been discussed in further detail during the finale, because during the reunion, I'm sorry, because a lot of stuff with a lot of them just got skipped over to read questions from the viewers or things Andy wanted to help Marlo fix her image, right? And then you just sit there and let Sheree and Drew do a whole 45-second Sheree, bye, drop, her, she, bye, like, did you get lost because you kept your head in your cars? Were you lost? What was that back? That was wasteless. Andy then asks Ralph, it's kind of odd that you tend to not include her in a lot of things. And that's sad for him to see in 2 seasons because it's true. And that's not part of the plot that you guys have concocted. It's true, you just don't respect your wife. So you do things that you tell her later. And it's even more odd that you would write a book about her son and not tell her. And he's like, no, I told her. And she's like, no, you didn't. He was like, yeah, we went to dinner. She was like, yeah, we were celebrating. And then you told me, hey, I signed a deal for a book. And I immediately began to feel bad. So that is so crazy. He then tries to explain, well, you know, we were doing this and she... they're weird. You call Sheree weird, what y'all have is weird. It's so surface level, or it appears to be, because I don't know you beyond what you present, and what you present seems very surface level. We then start the conversation about the book because Ralph wants to check us. Y'all don't know shit about my book. Let me tell you what my book is about. I wrote it. I'm gonna tell you what my book is about, since all y'all are so concerned about my book. Yeah, the first is first about, and then the second about, and then the third thing in my book that I wrote by myself that I didn't tell my wife about my experience of being a stepfather. Um, um, Candace like, what you write in the book? You didn't write that book, Ralph. That pretty chocolate sister with that red come get it lipstick on, she wrote that book for you. And you want to write about being a stepfather in 2 steps? Because you couldn't even remember the third. But you wrote a whole book. I call shenanigans. We quickly move on from that. And then, Ralph tries to change the tense moment of foolishness that he has just put us through. Yeah, the guy said we're gonna do some projects together. Drew like, what? Yeah, we're gonna do a book tour, and it's gonna start in Tampa. When I tell you, Todd is over there lit and funny as hell. So because Marlo is sitting in the first chair next to Andy, we are unfortunately forced to circle back around to her yet again for more lies, more apologies, and more Marlo protecting and trying to fix this tarnished, bashed image that she has created for herself being a first season peach holder. We are now going through more clips of Marlo lying, running her mouth, saying whatever just comes to the top of her head, and more apologies yet again, and more victim playing. There's now a question from a viewer asking Sheree, how is it that you want people to give you information, but you don't do it? So Sheree starts another lie. All these people just be on her lying, child. They just on her lying for these chicks. She says what Candy didn't do. I'm a good friend to Candy. Maybe I'm not now, but we've been good friends. Candy has to remind Sheree as well, there's some stuff that you've kept that you did not share with me. We see a clip of Kim doing whatever. We're now over to Todd with yet again another dig Marlo has taken. And she is now talking about Todd because of that exchange they had when she was mad at Ralph, and Candy was like, girl, how you tripping when you got your own situation? Glass houses, rocks. Super on your own front door. So Todd says, everybody in this room is under Candy's tax bracket. Ooh, checkmate. Marlo begins to do some super ass kissing. Not Andy. Not Andy. He's not. Not Andy. Andy laughs it off, and then he comes back around. So, Todd, how do you feel about so-and-so and such and such? Marlo, oh, I'm so sorry, Todd. I was yet again in somebody else's business. Marlo, so is this what we're going to get next season? You trying to redeem yourself? You trying to rewrite the narrative of what you wrote yourself because you were so stuck in producing good TV as you thought. You've even said it on interviews that you were going to make Candy earn this check. And I think now that fans have started to drag your ass, and you can now reflect on how you look, you're on this apology tour, and you've worked with someone to tell you, girl, this is what you got to do to fix your image, because if you get to come back next season, you cannot do that again. So I'm interested to see what she's going to give next season. I hope they demote her to a friend, because Marlo brought nothing. She used the boys. She used her mama. And one of my other videos, be sure to check out my previous video. The link is right here. But letting your mama come on there with no teeth, that is absolutely ridiculous. That's then followed with another apology from Marlo for what she said about Ty. And then she interrupts and says, well, I do have a question. You said I bought my way in. What did I do? So Todd is like, checkmate, gotcha. Yeah, I've been waiting for this one. Yeah, so my wife told me she needed me to be on. This is what she meant. Yeah, I used to work production, right? So, you remember we went wherever when I brought all my Birkins. Nice things are nice. But to build your entire presence around material things, that's sad. That says a lot about you. But according to the life that she keeps using and trying to explain or wants to be the victim with, it explains why she is the way that she is, which does not make it right. It makes me even feel more sorry for her. So back to Todd talking about Marlo's dehydration. He's like, yeah, so you were so desperate to be with these females that you paid your own expenses. You paid for your own flight. You paid for, and she's over there, I don't think I, and Andy, you can see the text. Apparently you did. I paid for my own flight? Yeah, you paid for your own flight. Well, I didn't pay for my own room. Girl, the damage is already done. He done already hit you with the hiya. He done already hit you in the throat with that one. You pay for your own expenses. So you weren't invited. But you probably, well, hey, can I come? Like if I pay my own ticket, I'll stay with Nene. I'll sleep on the floor. They ain't got enough. I'll sleep on the floor. We're continuing with Marlo and her apology tour and her apologizing. And the worldwide comment comes up, and Marlo gives this explanation, yet somewhat valid, right? We all know when it comes to explaining things thoroughly, that is not a strong suit of Marlo's. Hear me out, right? Let's have this heavy chat about this. So I think what Marlo was trying to say, because of the idea that I am well connected when it comes to fashion, I can probably navigate through certain spaces that Candy may find a little more difficult. Do I think Candy can't get into these spaces? No. I think with her influence, the right person, like a PR person, saying, hey, Candy Bears of Worldwide Escape, of Housewives, whatever, she wants to come to this show, this event, this museum, can make things happen. Where Marlo was saying that, hey, if it was music and R&B, or rap, or hip hop, whatever she was saying, I think the comparison is Candy can navigate through music and theater and Hollywood probably better than I can, whereas when it comes to fashion, I can navigate easier. Now, again, I definitely know or strongly feel that Candy would have easier access to certain things than Marlo would, regardless of fashion and or music, because of who she is in regards to who Marlo is not. We then move on to the KF conversation, and Sonya wants us to know that it's magical. Girl, shut up. But Candy explains that, look, Todd is so cool and mellow, and I'm like, if he's cool, I'm cool. Now give me a piece of that chicken pie. Now, I wish they still, well, it ain't got nothing to do with me, but again, Todd is a cool mellow dude. He don't give he's so above Marlo. Like, Marlo said, well, whatever. Who? I wanted to show this clip I'm getting ready to play because I want you to hear Marlo for herself and how whatever coach she had told her to throw this in. So you hear this. And I have a problem with these type of apologies. Let's talk about it later on down in the chat.
Not a nasty person.
She know she's not a nasty person.
I don't have to talk to her on the phone. We never have done that anyway, 24/7.
Okay.
I know what our friendship is. I have love for you. Sorry if what I did in Jamaica bothered you, offended you. And the only thing I can do is moving forward, stop saying sorry, and take action. And that's what
we are now ending the show by going through each girl to see what they have learned throughout the season. They give their ideas. It is what it is. So what we understand from moving forward, all of the girls have been invited back for season 15. They start recording on Monday, the 1st. What is Monday, the 1st? Whatever. They start recording on this coming Monday. Today is Wednesday night. And there's a new girl coming on. At the end, Sheree gifts the girls, so we thought. She brings out some stuff from her site, not from her line, because none of the stuff that she did on the fashion show has ever been produced or coming to fruition. She brings some hoodies, some bags, and stuff. And according to Drew, in a recent interview that came out this week, it was an Indian giver. It was all optics. She pretty much took it all back. So, again, thank you guys for supporting Heavy Hitter Media. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And be sure to check out this video. I think you'll enjoy it. Or you can check out this video. And again, thank you for supporting. Y'all be easy. Peace.